Ronald, Mr. Super Duck, today is your time at bat, buddy. This is an old X-Force. It's a 12.1. It's a 12 pill, but what makes this really neat is that it's a single port split and a single port combined. Now, depending on who you talk to, it's got its positives and its negatives. In my opinion, the negative is the wattage performance difference. It's got a shortcoming there. The combiner is not as efficient. So, with that being said, we're not going to see mega watts out of this, but what we are going to see is something that's going to be bulletproof and something you can volt the piss out of, and it's going to run a long time. Now, SuperDuck said since when he bought this thing, it's never been right. He'd put 30 watts of drive into it, and he would get 15 back. So he's always burning up drivers going into this thing. The input tune was a mess. Well, I redid that, added better power wire to it, put a doorknob in it, did a different combiner ring to it, and then he wanted me to bias it for sideband, because it had a sideband delay, but wasn't actually biased for sideband. It was in Class C. So now this is in Class B. Okay? So did a couple little upgrades. The primary thing is the box is right. Now when it came in, I could drive this thing with about 300 bird, and I'd get 1200 out. That's it. We're talking peak bird watts, 1200 peak out. Well, I found him another 1300 watts up in this box. Let's go over here and establish our baselines. 1000 watt, 5 watt slug in reverse. We're going to use the 66V Siltronics in reverse. And we're going to use the Bench 2-pill HD. And eventually we're going to use the Striker. So we're running on 14 volts flat. We're going to grab the 66V, and first we're going to look at the input tune. So this amp's on, straight 12 pill, Striker, directly into 12 pill, out into 10,000 watt bird dummy load sealed loop, ground assisted. Alright. Radio, keyed. Hello. So 20 watts worth of input drive, getting less than a 20th of a watt of reflect. That's pretty damn good. On the output side, 250 bird, 500 peak. 20 watts worth of drive. Input tune's good. Output tune's good. So we're going to pull out the 66V. We're going to hook up the 2-pill HD. First we're just going to drive it with the Striker, which does about 100 watts peak, 80 something. So we're going to hit it with 40 bird, about 100 peak watts, and watch what happens. Super Duck, you're going to love this. Just lay it in the corner. In the corner. It's pulling 210 amps. So now we're going to go over here and we're going to hit our multiplier. Dink. So now this reads twice face value. It's now a 2000 watt slug. So with that, it means the 50's 1000 watts, right? 1300 peak. So now we're getting 600 bird out of it. Turn the 2-pill on. Now remember, we're still in the 2x multiplier. So we just laid that in the corner. That's 1000 bird we just got out of a 12 pill in Class B on 14 volts. So we're going to run our dead key down a little bit. Please note I got the variable all the way down. So now we're only putting about 120 watts, 130 watts of drive into it. 300 amps worth of draw. Turn our dead key up some more. Now we're going to go over to the 5 times multiplier. So now this is reading in increments of 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
Hello. Hello.
21, 2200 with about 120, 130 watts worth of drive. Turn this all the way up, I can dead key 3 grand. Of course, then it falls back. So I turn that up to about half, we get about 24 out of it. But now, Super Duck, he's a volter. So let me hook up another little one of my magical little goodies. I'll be right back. Just brought my big old power supply online here. So this is 14 volts with no dip to it.
Hello.
Just got 1100 out of it. Reach down here. Run our voltage up a little bit more. We'll see what we get out going on.
Hello. Hello.
21, 2200. So now the striker's having a bad day. Saying the voltage is too high. Super Duck, it's ready, man. This thing is not going to skip a beat. And for the first time since you own this box, it's right. You're going to be able to hammer it down, buddy. My name is BBI. Super Duck, I appreciate you sending this thing to me to get it all fixed up. I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. And there is no shame to my game. Come check us out, www.bbiamps.com. Brother, should be in the mail to you here in just a couple days. I see you all. Bye.